What's up with it? You watching the Big Bomber TV. And yeah, we about to check out this video from the YouTube channel Warren Cali. And the title is The Shocking Family History of DJ Quik, Multiple Killers and Tragedy. Yeah, man, that's a bull with it, man. DJ Quik, definitely a legend on the West Coast when it comes to the West Coast hip hop sector, man. And not only he a legend because his raps, man, he a legend because of them beats too, man. And yeah, man, I don't think DJ Quik get all the respect he deserved though, man. He a real pioneer, man, for real. And yeah, man, word is, it's a few tracks out there people think Dr. Dre made, but actually DJ Quik made, man. And with stuff like that, that's why I say he not respected like he should be, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, I remember him showing them checks he was getting from Death Row, man, and them checks was shady, man, very disrespectful, man. I think he burnt the checks or whatever because it was like pennies for real, though. If you think about it, man, if he was getting all the money he was supposed to, maybe he could have did better with his family or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I haven't checked out the video. Don't completely know what they talking about, but let's check it out and see what they talking about.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. DJ Quik became a nationally known rapper by 1991 with his debut album Quik is the Name released in 1991. DJ Quik's career has been known for his rapping and great producing and numerous gold-selling albums, but his career also had a lot of controversy, from rap beef with fellow Compton rappers like MC8, that beef led to several diss songs, and even the death of a Crip who got mixed in the middle, along with him facing his own murder charges. Hawthorne police said in February of 1995 that DJ Quik, whose real name is David Blake, was a driver of a car that killed a 5-year-old. That said child was a resident of Inglewood and died of head injuries after he was struck by the rapper's Lexus around 3 p.m. after he was speeding. Police held DJ Quik, who was 24 years old at the time, for about 3 hours for questioning. Then he was released. Somehow, he was never charged. Reggie Wright later talked about this incident on the Bomb First platform,
making fun of Keefy D. And DJ Quik left a comment underneath the post. And I'll show it on the screen, but he said, of course, Reggie Wright. And I wanted to get your response on that.
Quik still tapping at me? I don't know. I always liked Quik. I told you the whole time Quik was around Death Row, me and Quik was cool. Never had no, not hanging out or anything like that, but always was very, very respectful. But I guess he got mad because I done told a few stories, right? About this. About the time when he ran over the little kid and killed a little kid. Also, another thing about Quik that never been put out there.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Why would you even bring that up, though, man? That ain't even the type of thing you'll bring up. You know, that's something that's probably still eating them up to this day, man. For real, though.
And I just like to put things out there so y'all can know. Quik was going through a lot of issues, beating himself up in 95, 96, because he had a traffic accident and he ran over and killed a young child. And that messed with him a lot.
Look how shady he look while he telling the story, though, man. He just looks shady while he telling it, for real, though. Yeah, man, it's somewhat like a dirty politician trying to use a tragedy for political gain or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, rest in peace to that kid, though, man, for real, though.
Maybe that's the story. He got mad, speeding down the street, being reckless and stuff. Should have been in the penitentiary behind that in Hawthorne for at least a manslaughter, vehicle manslaughter at worst. But he got out of that. So maybe he's mad about that.
A lot of tragedies occurred in Quik's life. He also lost several friends like Mossberg, who I covered in a previous episode. Also, he had a lot of close family members bring countless headlines to his brand and his name. And in this episode, that's what I will cover. With that being said, let's get into these cases. Quik has a nephew named Thaddeus and a close friend he grew up with named Daryl Reed. In 1998, investigators said a shooting occurred around 11:50 p.m. when Thaddeus and Daryl were apparently alone downstairs in Quik's home. When shots were fired, Quik ran downstairs to see Thaddeus standing in the living room holding a gun. Thaddeus then fled, and Quik and another occupant of the house found Daryl wounded in the backyard. Quik and the other occupant pulled Daryl into a car and rushed him to Kaiser, where he died in surgery. Authorities said police spotted Thaddeus in a parking lot of a mall and took him into custody after a brief foot chase. Investigators said they were considering a motive, but said Thaddeus and Daryl had been enemies for several years. Police said their relationship was like oil and water. It didn't mix. The attack may have begun in a room where the rapper had placed a ping pong table, police said. Thaddeus apparently shot Daryl once there and then pursued him into the living room, where he shot Daryl again. That was apparently when Quik came downstairs and Thaddeus fled.
I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That's super disrespectful to somebody's house. Yeah, man, this kind of shows sometimes, man, you gotta leave the streets behind if you come up, man, for real.
Thaddeus, who was 22, was booked on suspicion of murder in the death of Daryl Reed, who was 36, and was described as his personal assistant to the rapper.
On a track, I had headphones on, but I felt something going on downstairs. I came out the hallway. I talked to my niece, Tamika. I was like, Tamika, what just happened? And she said, Thaddeus just shot Top Dog. And I'm like, what do you mean shot him?
Thaddeus Davis was Quik's nephew. Daryl Cortez Reed, known as Top Dog, was Quik's personal assistant and childhood friend.
I came downstairs and I saw my boy trying to crawl out of the back door. He said, why did Thaddeus do that to me? Why did Dad do that to me? I said, I don't know, but we got a lot of business to do. I need you alive. We're going to get you to the hospital.
But Daryl Reed died in surgery that day.
Man.
Thaddeus Davis was arrested that day as well on suspicion of murder.
He had a drug-induced rage. Here, I lose two of my favorite people. My nephew, who I always wanted to see do good, because he was homeless just like I was when my mama lost her crib. And my homeboy, Daryl, who'd been helping me be successful. I lost them both.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I still can't get over the disrespect, man. That's like super disrespectful to do that in somebody's house, man, and bring the heat on them. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I think I heard something about this story or something about him bringing his nephew in or whatever, man. But yeah, man, it seemed like he cared about his nephew, but his nephew ain't care about him and the circumstances he was putting him in, for real.
Took a good friend from everybody, Everybody still misses Top Dog. People still talk about him too, so.
I had to take a break of doing rhythmism to do a funeral, adopt Top's daughter as my goddaughter, and then go back to recording. I really tried not to let any of that leak into that record, but I wasn't in the right state of mind, none during that time, because I couldn't understand how to deal with that amount of grief.
Thaddeus later received manslaughter and did around 12 years for this crime. Around 15 years later, more tragedy would occur. In 2013, Quik's daughter, who was a 21-year-old named Daviana, was charged with first-degree murder in the death of her own 2-year-old son. Daviana and her boyfriend, who was 24 years old and named Darnell, was arrested by Phoenix police after Daviana's boyfriend allegedly severely beat their son for wetting the bed. Daviana reportedly told the police that she was afraid to intervene, as she thought it would only anger Darnell even more.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, rest in peace to that baby, man. For real, this is a sick story, man. I remember hearing this story, man.
When she came back home, she stated that she found her son not breathing and beat him badly. Daviana and Darnell were arrested by the Phoenix police in connection of the murder of their own son. A witness told police that he heard the boyfriend chastising his 2-year-old son for wetting the bed, and that he could hear the child being spanked with what witnesses call excessive discipline. The child was found dead with multiple bruises all over his body, his leg, arms, butt, back, and face. An autopsy report showed that the child suffered a lacerated liver and severe internal bleeding, and multiple bruising throughout his body, inconsistent with being struck by only a belt. Documents said that she and her boyfriend argued on whether or not to take their son to the hospital. The couple was booked on suspicion of child abuse and first-degree murder. Daviana was later sentenced to around 15 years. In 2022.
That was terrible, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. And doing all that to a kid, what you think that kid mind state was gonna be when he got older? You know what I mean? Like if he would have grew up to be cold and doing all kind of crazy stuff, it would have been kind of understandable, for real though.
DJ Quik's son will also have a tragic incident. David Blake Jr., who was 27, was charged on May 25th of 2022 in the killing of Julio Cardozo. Julio was shot following a Fax Avenue. This is according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. The dispute took place at the victim's family home after Isaac Galvan, a councilman David Jr. worked for, attended a graduation ceremony for Isaac's son. Julio is the uncle of Isaac's son. Unconfirmed reports indicate the dispute was between Isaac and Julio, and then David Jr. intervened. David, who was in a car nearby, allegedly fatally shot Julio and then drove away. The 33-year-old victim, who suffered multiple gunshot wounds, died that day at a nearby hospital.
Arrested on suspicion of murder. 27-year-old David Blake Jr., who is seen here in this video, was picked up in Porter Ranch early Thursday morning. He's accused in the shooting death of 33-year-old Julio Cardoza last week in Downey. Cardoza died from a single gunshot wound to the chest. Blake has worked as a liaison, though, to the Compton City Councilman Isaac Galvan, who's being removed from office following accusations of election fraud. Compton's mayor, Emma Sharif, issued a statement sending thoughts and prayers to all of the families involved, saying that their lives have been changed forever. Mr. Blake's bail has been set at $2 million.
David was arrested after the shooting, but was later released. He was taken into custody again after the jury convicted him of second-degree murder, along with shooting from a motor vehicle at trial. Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge Laura Walton agreed to the defense request to strike and dismiss gun allegations that could have resulted in an additional 25-year to life sentence. The judge called the case an absolute tragedy, noting that David had no prior record, and at age 27, telling him that a split-second decision does not define him or his character. She told him that at some point, you will be paroled. Outside the Norwalk courthouse, the victim's sister, Michelle, said she was not happy with the sentence, but that's what California does. It gives murderers a chance, she said. He got away with having a gun. Speaking shortly before being sentenced, the defendant said he is sorry for his role he had in Julio's death and said his heart aches for the Cardozas. The judge said that she believed that David did see a shotgun being pointed in his direction, as the defense contended about 3 minutes before he opened fire, but questioned why didn't he drive off without Isaac and instead picked up a gun and fired into the victim's direction after he had maneuvered the vehicle out the driveway. She told David that he was truly caught up in a terrible situation and made the wrong decision in a split-second decision. David was later sentenced to 15 years to life.
Damn.
All these crazy incidents took several lives. RIP to all the victims.
Thanks. Yeah, man, that was a crazy video, man. I didn't know he was surrounded by all that death, man. And Reggie, a cold dude for bringing up that situation, man. I'm pretty sure that was eating him up, man, for real, though. And yeah, man, the situation with his daughter, man, that's really sick, man, for real, though. Yeah, man, he seemed like Quik, man, through a lot, man, a lot. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. You watching the Big Mama TV. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Until next time. All right.